Sally Field's enchanting smile and acclaimed performances have always masked a chilling truth from her past. Despite her dazzling success in Hollywood, she carried a hidden pain that remained a closely guarded secret. What dark chapter of her childhood did she conceal for so many years? Discover the shocking reasons behind Sally Field's silence and the brave moment she chose to unveil her haunting past to the world. Sally Field was born in a warm climate of Pasadena, California. Pasadena is a beautiful town, with quite a number of palm trees and fine homes. It's the kind of place where children run around in front yards and people sit down for dinner in the evening. Sally was just like any other little girl that grew up in that area. She went to school, played with friends, and was very imaginative. However, there was a small twist about Sally's family that was different from the rest of the families in the community. Well, you know, her mother was an actress, Margaret Field. She was in movies and on television, so Sally got to watch her mom perform throughout her childhood. Her mom was not just a normal mom who worked in an office or at home. She acted in large Hollywood films, which sounded glamorous. Sally enjoyed observing her mom change into different characters and act on stage and in front of the camera. Sally's mother and her had a good relationship, and they were very close. It was not just a relationship of mother and daughter. They were very close friends. Margaret was always a good friend to Sally. She was always there for her, encouraging her and loving her. But it was not always fun being the daughter of an actress. Sally was expected to be just like her mother, beautiful, talented, and happy all the time. That placed a lot of burden on Sally even when she was still a young girl or a child. Sally wanted to become a nurse like her mother, but at the same time, she wanted to be an individual. She didn't want to be just Margaret Field's daughter. Sally also wanted to be an actress, but she realized that it was not going to be easy to get a break. Life with Jock Mahoney, her stepfather. Sally's mom got involved with a man and married him when Sally was still very young, and this man's name was Jock Mahoney. Jock was an actor too. He was a cowboy and a stuntman, and all those other strong hero types. On the surface, Sally had everything a girl could dream of for a family. A lovely house, a celebrity mother, and a courageous, powerful stepfather. However, they didn't always have a picture-perfect relationship, even though they were married. Jock Mahoney was serious and had a very high standard of discipline. Sally was always on her best behavior around him, something that was not easy for a young girl. At other times, it made her feel that she couldn't be herself at home, implying that she had to put up a facade even at home. Despite the fact that they were a Hollywood family, Sally's life at home was not always glamorous and full of lights and shades. At some point, she was confused and did not know where she belonged, especially with Jock's rough exterior and the pressure on her. Sally's first acting break, Gidget. Sally's dream was to become an actress, and this dream came through when she was still young, a teenager to be precise. Her first major acting role was on a television show called Gidget. Sally was also an actress who portrayed a cheerful and active teenage girl who liked surfing in the show. It was fun, carefree, and full of life, just like the character of Gidget. And so it was not hard to imagine Sally being like that too. Gidget became a success, and shortly thereafter Sally was on television sets all across America. Audiences enjoyed seeing her portray this cheerful girl who was always in some sort of a hilarious predicament. Sally became popular, and for some time the appearances were rosy. However, life was not a cup of tea for a young actress as it seemed to be. Off-camera, Sally was overwhelmed with the fact that she was the star. They all expected her to be a certain way and dress a certain way and carry herself in a certain way. She had to be perfect all the time, always smiling, always happy, always the girl next door. There was little room for Sally to show her emotions. At times, she just wished to be a normal girl and enjoy herself, but Hollywood was not very forgiving, and being a teenage actress was not easy. Sally Fields got another big break with Gidget, and then she got another show known as The Flying Nun. This show was very different from Gidget. Sally was in The Flying Nun, where she acted as a nun who could fly only if she wore a special hat. The show was supposed to be funny and entertaining, and in no time at all it was a success. But there were times when Sally did not like being a mother to her dolls. It was tiring to wear the nun costume and act as if I am flying. Sally was not able to bring out her full potential as an actress because of the kind of role that was assigned to her. Moreover, the character was very innocent and simple, which was not very suitable for showing the variety of emotions and acting talent of Sally. She felt as if she was still performing roles that did not depict her or her life in any way. The desire to be perfect in Hollywood did not help either. At this time, Sally was still very young, and the entertainment industry demanded that she keep up a certain appearance. Everyone expected her to be sweet, innocent, and likable, just like the characters she portrayed on television. But deep inside Sally's heart, she understood that she was not just a happy-go-lucky girl who could fly or surf. On the inside, she craved for challenging roles and to be appreciated as a good actress and not just a television personality. Sally faced a lot of pressure as she began her acting career, and this affected her in one way or the other. Being in Hollywood meant she always had to be attractive, beautiful, and perfect. They were more concerned with the physical appearance and beauty of the lady than the talent she possessed. And since she was in the limelight most of the time, she felt as if she had to put on a facade and be the person Hollywood wanted her to be. This pressure was not only in her working life, but also in her personal life as well. When other children of her age were attending high school dances and hanging out with friends, Sally was on set for many hours. She was not able to do what other teenagers of her age were able to do. She had to be mature and become a woman, and that too had its own problems. Still, Sally was determined. She was not going to be a product of that industry and be defined by it. She understood that she had more to give, and one day she would prove to the world what she is capable of. Despite the fact that her first parts in Gidget and The Flying Nun brought her popularity, Sally realized that she had much more to offer. She craved for a more professional status of an actress, rather than being labeled as a cute face on television. It was a tough job, but Sally was ready for it. She kept on working hard. She was aware that someday she would be given an opportunity to perform larger and more crucial roles. Sally Field's childhood and early career were not always smooth sailing in the Hollywood industry. She had problems in her home with her strict stepfather and the expectations of the show business. However, having strength, determination, and passion towards acting, Sally was able to pull through those dark times. Despite the fact that everyone expected her to be perfect, Sally realized that it is much better to be herself. Because of that, she was able to become one of the most adored and esteemed actresses in Hollywood. Sally's secret. Sally had to go through something very painful. Jock Mahoney, who was meant to take care of her, did things that were so wrong to her. This was a kind of abuse, and it made Sally feel scared and confused. She had no idea why it was occurring or how to address it. She was able to keep this secret for quite some time because she felt threatened and did not know who to turn to. When she was a child, Sally had a feeling that she is confused. She failed to comprehend why her stepfather, a man who was supposed to protect and care for her, was so cruel to her. Sometimes when something unpleasant happens to kids, they begin to think that it is their own fault when in fact it is not. That is how Sally felt. Guilty and confused, as if she had done something wrong that made it happen. But Sally had not done anything wrong at all. She was just a little girl, and nothing that was wrong was because of her. This is something one needs to understand, that when someone is angry with you or has offended you in any way, it is never your fault. Sally was being abused by her stepfather, but she could not move out of the house and live with someone else. She had to work with him and speak to him daily, while having to hide how much pain she felt inside. This made life very hard for Sally, because she had to pretend that she was not in pain and go on with her normal life. Sally was portrayed as having a wonderful life from the outside world or from the eyes of the people. She was from California, her mother was also an actress, and her stepfather was a movie star. However, nobody understood what was going on behind the closed doors. Sally had to continue to smile and put on cheerful appearances while she was suffering in her heart. How it affected Sally's feelings. The abuse Sally experienced didn't just make her feel bad when she was a child. It also affected how she felt about herself for a long time. When someone hurts you, especially someone who's supposed to take care of you, it can make you feel like you're not important or worthy of love. That's what happened to Sally. She struggled with low self-esteem, which means she didn't always feel good about herself. She might have thought she wasn't good enough, even though she was a very talented actress and a kind person. The pain from her childhood made it hard for her to believe in herself sometimes. How it affected her relationships. When Sally grew up and started to have relationships with other people, the pain from her childhood was still with her. It's like carrying a heavy backpack full of bad feelings that you can't put down. Even though Sally wanted to connect with others, it was hard because she had been hurt so badly by someone she trusted. Trusting other people became difficult for Sally because her stepfather had broken that trust. She wanted to feel safe and loved, but the memories of what happened made that very hard. When Sally became a mom, she faced new challenges. Even though she loved her children very much, she sometimes worried about being the best mom she could be. Because of what happened to her when she was a child, Sally wanted to protect her kids and make sure they never went through the same kind of pain. This sometimes made her feel anxious or scared that she might not be doing enough. But Sally worked hard to be a loving mom. She knew that raising her children with care, love, and honesty was the most important thing. Even though she had to deal with the emotions from her own past, Sally did her best to create a happy life for her kids, her acting career. Sally also had a bad childhood experience that affected her acting in a big way. The hardships that she had to endure in her childhood made her familiar with such emotions as fear, sadness, and confusion. She used to give many emotions to the characters she portrayed in movies. Sally in the movie Sybil portrayed a woman with a very pathetic life, and due to her own experiences, she was able to give the character a natural touch. In Norma Ray, she played a strong woman who was struggling for the rights of the employees, and Sally, too, was a strong woman from within. The difficulties she faced in her life helped her to become a better actress because she knew how to express emotions that many people could identify with. Despite the fact that the childhood of the main character was filled with pain, she realized that it was high time to recover. She had to seek assistance by going to therapy where she could express herself and try to heal from the pain. It is evident from the paper that therapy assisted her to know why she felt the way she did, and how she could change and do it in a healthier manner. As a result of therapy and personal development, Sally was empowered. She realized that it is not shameful to discuss her emotions, and she found how to free herself from the pain that she had been suffering for years. Slowly, Sally was able to recover, and that was a huge improvement in her way of living. Speaking out. Sally Field never disclosed her abuse to the public for many reasons for many years. It was fear that was the main reason. She thought of how the people would react if they were to know the truth. Being famous meant that if she decided to report it, many people would know, and she did not want anyone to judge or look at her in a certain way. There were few people who used to discuss abuse in those days. It was a taboo, and this was evident especially in Hollywood, where people rarely talked about it. No one wished to talk about problems because everyone wished to be perfect. Sally had to endure the abuse, and yet she felt she had to endure her traumatic experiences in silence. She also kept quiet because of her mom as a result of what her mom had told her. Sally did not wish to upset her mother, actress Margaret Field, and so she kept quiet about it. She understood that if she told the truth about her stepfather, Jock Mahoney, her mother would be upset and there would be problems in the family. Sally worried about how truth would hurt her family, although she was angry. Shame plagued Sally too. It is also possible to feel guilty, even if they did not do anything wrong because of bad situations. Sally felt that. She had this feeling for quite some time. She thought she had to conceal her past because she was ashamed. She did not wish to be demeaned or abused in any way by anyone that she came across. Sally said that due to her job in Hollywood, it became difficult for her to discuss the incident that occurred. It was important to look perfect and be happy. Other people in the entertainment business did not like to discuss their problems or let others do so. Sally could not share what she had gone through with anyone because everyone had to look good. She would lose her job or be disgraced. Hence, Sally could not speak for years. This made her feel embarrassed and scared of disappointing her family, and that is why she never dared to open her mouth. Her world did not allow her to tell the truth. She was able to find her voice to speak out at some point. Sally understood that sharing her story would help those who went through the same situation, although it was painful. In 2018, the famous actress Sally Field released her memoir called In Pieces. She feared to write this book because it would be a revelation of her childhood hardships. It was like sharing her long-buried sorrow. Why she wrote her story. Sally wrote In Pieces because she wanted to tell the truth about her life, and not only the good parts. She described the physical and sexual abuse she received from her stepfather and how it impacted her. Sally also found it useful to write everything down in order to have a better grasp of how she felt. It was like doing a jigsaw and connecting each piece so she could understand how the whole picture of her life was made. Sally was able to address the pain that she had been holding for quite some time when she wrote her story. She was able to recall those memories, but it was not an easy thing for her to do so, but it made her feel lighter, as if she had let go of something that was weighing her down. In the process of putting her memoir, Sally had to recall the hard times in her childhood to write the memoir. This wasn't easy. Try to picture something that caused you a lot of pain. It is possible to get depressed all over again. That is how it was for Sally. This means that she had to deal with such feelings as confusion, fear, and sadness that she had experienced before, and it was not easy for her. Despite the fact that it was painful to recall the past, Sally had the impression that it was something that she had to do. Writing about what happened helped her to turn her focus to those memories and begin to find a way to deal with them. When In Pieces was released, people were shocked by some things that Sally was revealing, yet they were very supportive. She received a lot of love and encouragement from her fans as well as the media. They also knew that it was not easy for her to open up and discuss something so sensitive and painful. A lot of people appreciated her courage and for coming out to report abuse. Some fans also said that they too faced some tough times, and they informed Sally that her book made them realize they are not the only ones going through such times. This made Sally feel good because she saw that she was also benefiting other people when she was telling her own story. Finding healing and closure. After In Pieces was published, Sally felt like a weight had been lifted off her shoulders. Speaking out about what happened to her helped her find peace and healing. For a long time, she had kept her pain to herself, but by sharing it with the world, she felt like she could finally move on. Telling the truth about her past also helped Sally understand herself better. It gave her a sense of closure, which means she felt like she could finally leave those painful memories in the past and focus on the present. Writing the memoir was a big part of Sally's journey to healing, and it showed her that it's okay to talk about the hard things in life. By doing so, we can start to feel better and help others who might be going through the same thing. Sally Field's resilience and strength have inspired many, shedding light on her remarkable journey. For more incredible stories, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more insights into the lives of iconic stars.